round of 8. And what is an 8-team bracket? Of course, Season 3 bringing 8 teams instead of 16. But I definitely think for the better, and that was really shown, especially in cycle number 1 even. Anyways, here we are, cycle number 2. 2 new teams joining us. Really, you can even almost say 3 new, of course, with the new BMG changes, but plenty to talk about. Really excited to get things kicked off. And obviously, here we are once again in a round of 8 of what is going to be Willowkeeper versus Rexars, the matchup of choice that we're going to be covering for you guys, and I think for good reason, because this one definitely would not be surprising to see even go the distance and have a good time with it. With that said, of course, as always, joined by Mini Maggot. How's it going?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. I'm looking forward to this game. Obviously, these two teams have faced off quite a few times before in other sort of cycles, and obviously the Carnage of Calderboy, and I think they've got somewhat of a little bit of a feud between each other as well. I was talking to Fusion the other day, and I don't know how friendly they are with this other team, so there's a little bit of bad blood going into this game, which obviously makes it a little bit more interesting as well.
That's always fun. You get a little bit of players that may not like each other to an extent, whether it's because of playing against them so often or whatever, but that always helps out. But again, on top of that, these are kind of two of these teams that have been on the rise quite a bit. Now, I think it's more so for Willowkeeper, definitely. Of course, they're coming off a third-place finish. They gave BMG a run for their money last cycle. This is a team that has shown they can compete with the top-tier players and teams. Rexars, they are getting there. They still, I think, have a little bit more work to do. Obviously, with losing Insania, going from Challenge Caldevar to this Han Tour season, that was definitely a transition, but one that they clearly have shown that they can develop into, and most certainly have become a team themselves to reckon with. So, looking forward again to see how that all plays out. But anyways, rambling on as always. We got the bans though. Second tier of bans even happening. So let's go ahead and take a quick look here as far as how things kicked off. The initial bans, I did join late, so I don't know if you have those actually.
Yeah, I had them. It was Parasite, Ophelia, Cthulhu, and Bubbles.
Okay, so we got the double jungle again. Parasite, Ophelia being taken on initially. And then even Bubbles thrown in there, not your usual ban-worthy hero, but Swiftblade first picked as a it was Empath actually first pick. Empath and Rhapsody, Magnus and a Pharaoh, and Drunken Master. Am I missing something? Oh, it was Swiftblade. No, Swiftblade was first pick. What am I saying? Okay, my chat is all screwed up. Okay, anyways.
So good.
What's going on here?
But yes, I think Swiftblade, obviously after with Tremble being out of the competitive scene and Cthulhu having that slight nerf, I think Swiftblade is probably the top tier pick here, so no surprise we see him first picked here by a tree. I think they were obviously one of the initial teams to start running this Swiftblade tri-lane with the Empath, and as we see, the Yellow Rexar taking the Empath for himself. And then most notably is the probably Root of Z's Riftwalker being picked up here in the fourth pick actually. So I'm looking forward to see if he can make any big plays, which obviously he most probably can. Yeah,
you see the Quincy throwing that stat line out there for Riftwalker. Only 11 games, so not seen too often, but have been seen before. But no doubt, Root of Z, he is known. He's kind of one of these niche players that you think of, not the most well-known player, but if there is one hero that he's known with, is of course that Riftwalker. He has made some damn big plays with that hero against even the best team. So. Excited to see that, no doubt. Again, the Swiftblade, strong first pick, though, and definitely the lineup developing very strong for them. It's going to be fun to see how they final pick here. But Willowkeeper especially, you can always count on to be a little bit diverse amongst a lot of teams nowadays, it seems like, but they especially are really not afraid to kind of do their own thing and make it work at the same time, of course. So we'll see what that final pick is. But back over to Rexars, the Drunken Magnus Empath. They go Torturer here, so something a little bit more. Oh, my gosh. Oh my gosh. You know what? So, I've talked about this hero. I know we've had this discussion. Magnus is a popular hero on the competitive scene. We see him all the time. In fact, we see him this game. And why don't we see Geomancer more? He's, in a sense, better than Magnus in certain cases. Sure, he's weaker in others, but I've been surprised we haven't seen him. You know what, Willowkeeper? Thank you very much.
Okay, yeah, so this is most likely going to be a Geomancer suicide. I've been talking with one of my old teammates who's very, very close with Tree. I was speaking to Akami, and he says that Geomancer suicide is something that Tree have sort of had something up their sleeve for a while now. So we are going to see the Geomancer suicide with Reps, Riftwalk, and Swiftblade most likely defensive tri-lane and Fair in the middle lane. And apparently, I haven't seen it that much in terms of practice, but apparently I've heard it's very, very good, can work very well in theory. And apparently Boxy has been practicing with it all the time in terms of TMM as well. So I'm looking forward to see how well he can play it.
Oh yeah, Boxy, and again, it's kind of, just, it's fun too. It's go figure they will live up to that, how, just sitting there talking about how Willowkeeper especially is a team that's not afraid to be diverse. Go figure. They pick another hero that we have not seen yet in Han 2 or so far in recent history. Hell, we haven't seen this hero ever. I mean, I'm sitting here talking. I know way back in the day, like right after this hero first, I think B-Kid actually, back in the day when he was around, he actually made mention that he was kind of a fan of this hero for a little bit, but we never really saw it develop into anything. But yeah, this is exciting stuff, man.
Look at what he's doing as well. He's already picked up the early boots, and it's most likely just to try and get off the early ward here into the Hellborn jungle. He's most likely going to sell these boots in the next couple of seconds. But look, he's already used his dig twice already. I mean, this is sort of a similar strategy. Actually, no, it looks like he's going to keep the boots, actually, because obviously the time's already moved. So he's going to keep with the boots in the end. I don't know if that was a misplay or not. But anyway, so he's going to pick off this ward of sight well before any of the Hellborn team could match him. It's something we used to see with bubbles as well. You can sort of do it as well if you sort of shell surf away into the well. But Hellborn are going to be rotating us 5 down bottom here. But I mean, the boots on Geomancer. I mean, I can't say I don't play Geomancer that much, so I obviously couldn't say if it's a good item pick up or not. But if there's one person who doesn't know how to play Suicide Geomancer, it's Boxy.
Yeah, it's hard to sit here and exactly. We can't really question that, I guess. But at the same time, it's not your typical pickup. To see boots first on any hero other than maybe a Parasite or an Ophelia in the aggressive jungle we've seen, or of course Rampage whenever we see that hero picked up. No, but yep. Yeah,
so one thing though is that normally with these boots, though, it does allow sort of suicide heroes to suicide even if they're not potentially suicides because of that extra movement speed.
Yeah.
Although he does have an escape mechanism, I mean you can sometimes get away with running like a solo in the long lane even if he doesn't have an escape mechanism. Like even if you rotate like a random hero just into the long lane with boots, it can work quite well. It's something that actually Dota 2 scene have been picking up quite recently. You don't need to have an escape mechanism to run a hero in the long lane as long as you have the early boots. Obviously he's been pulled regen as well, so hopefully he should be fine here. But he is going to be a 1v1, so I think this is going to impact him a lot worse than if it was a 1v2 because he's only picked up the boots.
True, yeah. He against that Dr. Bulbasaur, of course, a very, very strong laner no matter who he's going up against. So it could cause some issues for Boxy. As you mentioned, he did at least get pulled to regen, but still, that could cause to be an issue. So we'll keep a close eye on that. But again, going back to this Geomancer hero real quickly, a big reason why I like this hero and his potential is he has some great laning presence with that E of his in what's called the Earth's Grasp. His stun is obviously pretty solid, and the W in the Quicksand is great for the team fights and even great harassment as well, setting up kills even. So it's going to be fun again to see how he uses that, and also the E could even be seen to be used as for creep kills even on top of that. So yeah, again, going to be fun to see how that develops, but more importantly, perhaps, we do have a try versus try lane here, Minimag, at bottom lane. It is an aggressive try lane being ran here by Rexars. You got Magnus, Torture, Empath, a lot of stun kill potential, but they are going up against Swiftblade, Rhapsody, and Riftwalker, who no doubt have some kill potential themselves. I mean, Swiftblade alone brings that, of course. So, how do you see this one playing out down here?
I mean, I think I've got to give the advantage here to the Legion side. I mean, they picked up the Swiftblade, which is obviously one of the strongest heroes in a tri-lane. And I mean, Empath, without the Swiftblade on her own team, she's honestly not the greatest of tri-lane. Yeah, she can obviously take advantage of mispositioning, but she doesn't offer that much in terms of burst potential, or even that much damage either. So unless one of these Legion heroes are completely out of position, I honestly think that this Legion tri-lane is most likely going to be winning this.
Yeah, fun stat line right there. It's usual from Quincy. Willowkeeper with this Rift Dog we're talking about in the hands of Ro8 especially. 4-0 with this hero, and I believe at least one of those wins were against BMG, so it's not like it's just against teams that don't know what they're doing really. This is against top-tier competition, so again, clearly know what they're doing with this niche hero here being played by Ro8 once again. So, yeah, going to be fun to see how he develops as well as the lineup. Of course, look at the top lane, though. Dr. Repulsor. Oh, my God, he's getting locked. Boxy chasing down those boots. A May coming handy right now. No, Doctor turns it. The burst was too much. The magnetic contraption comes out. I mean, I thought he had the kill, but holy crap.
Man, Boxy's all in, man. That's what the kind of plays he does. Either they work and he's, claimed as like one of the best players, or and that happens, and he's at a big detriment to his team. I mean, obviously, I can't criticize him for going for that play. I mean, he's actually still going though. He's still trying to find the Dr. Repulsor, but Dr. Repulsor is going to just skirt away there. He does have his boots. He's picked up the bottle. Boxy is still chasing, but no. Is going to turn away in the end. But yeah, I mean, that's a massive kill for Rexars there, because, I mean, Dr. Repulsor is probably one of the strongest heroes when going against a tri-lane, because, when he gets level 6, he can rotate and help the tri-lane if they are going to be losing. Bottom lane, there's going to be action coming in.
There's a little bit down here. You see the Disco Inferno put down, healing up a little bit. So really more so just some harassment at the pole camp over here. But as I say, that Rhapsody getting caught out. There's a spin from Swiftplay though. Somebody's going to go down. Who's going to be first? It's going to be Torture. Ro8 gets credit for the Bloodlust kill. Magma's got the kill on Rhapsody, but a 1-for-1 exchange in favor so far of Willowkeeper because of the Bloodlust, and they're still going. And Pathy's being slow by Riftwalker. Look at how slow he gets. Not a hero we see too often, but another example right there of how powerful it can be. What is called a shared existence. The more damage you do with that on, the slower they get, of course, and set up the kill onto Empath. So well in favor right there of Willowkeeper in the end.
Oh, middle lane.
Pharaoh? Oh yeah, he's actually putting some good damage. Not going to be a kill, but harassing Drunken Master quite a bit right there.
But yeah, going back to the bottom lane, and this is what I mean, the tri lane for Swiftplay is just too much to handle. Actually, top lane.
Yeah, they're going for the kill. Rhapsody poured it up here. Dr. Pulse did not expect that. The turn kills Jits. Oh, Geomancer. You know, he had flashbacks, I'm sure, to what just happened when he first went in for the kill the initially, and it got turned on. But this time it does work out, obviously. As Rhapsody is there to assist, that was the big reason for it. So, well played by Rhapsody. I mean, hell, dies at the bottom lane, makes a point to go top.
Yeah, and I love this rotation actually because that's the last thing that you'd expect from the Doctor Repulsor, to expect a rotation from the supports. And I mean, Doctor Repulsor is one of the easiest heroes to gank before level 6, and I mean, and we saw obviously that the first blood going against Box here. Now this this kill here is going to help him out a lot in terms of getting back in terms of the lane presence here.
Yeah.
Although this is obviously causing Swiftplay to farm a little bit slow, obviously, because you can't play too aggressive without Rhapsody here. He's obviously rotating back now. Actually, we got an invisible Empath. I might see if they can catch off this Riftwalker here in the bottom lane.
Yeah, 15 seconds remaining. They're going to go in right there. Wall off on a Riftwalker, and yeah, realizing that she is in trouble. Rhapsody coming over. Are they going to be able to set up any kind of defense here? Riftwalker, the stuff from Magmus, Torture following up as well. Just not enough damage, oh, barely enough. In the end, Swiftplay though, he's level 5. He's got that level 3 spin as a result. That should definitely be a kill on a Torture. If anything, he's just going to kind of lead him away. Down goes Torture. Rhapsody taking the stun from Empath right there. And actually, Swiftplay still going in. He's not level 6 just yet, though. If he gets level 6 here somehow with a creep kill or something, that would be pretty epic. But probably not going to happen. But here comes Geomancer. Boxing coming in with a flank. And now Magnus, he is in trouble. He does have Steam Bath. If he can get it off in time, it might not matter, though, because even if he does, the spin would kill him. He knows that. Oh, my God. Is it the mana battery? Is it going to be enough? He's just out of range. Dig from Geomancer. 1 second. He gets it off. And yep, down goes Magnus. Torture ports in, but just too late.
And yeah, Pharaoh rotated to get the Empath kill as well. And look at the kills now coming up for Tree. They're going again in bottom lane.
It's just not going to stop, baby. Torture's going to end up falling. He's by himself, and you got to question that even a little bit. I mean, sure, not pushing up too far, but especially with Geomancer still hanging around, he had no chance to survive right there. So good job by Willowkeeper making use of him, making a little bit of overcommitment there.
Yeah, just great capitalization. And this is exactly the kind of style and team draft that Tree were going for. Of course, they have some late game potential with Swiftblade, but it's all about the early game and the gank potential. You've got Pharaoh, you've got Geomancer, of course, you've got the dual supports as well. They need to get these kills on the board, and that's exactly what they're doing. And expect more action to come as well. It's only 6 minutes in, but they are 1,000 experience up. They need to keep putting the pressure on, though, because I don't think Legion can really handle the late game potential of Drunken Master and Dr. Repulsor in the late game, so they need to put some early pressure on and try and get the early advantage here to sort of rotate into the mid and late game.
Yeah. Ghost Marcher's picked up by Drunken Master right there in the meantime, so he is having a pretty good time in that sense, getting those that early farm. But yeah, when I was looking at this GPM chart, even with the hero kill advantage earlier on for Willowkeeper, it actually was still looking pretty good for Rexars, and that's kind of the same here. I mean, even with a 7-3 hero kill advantage, exactly, you still got Dr. Repulsor up there at 350 gold per minute. That goes back to what you were saying earlier, how especially against that tri-lane setup where those heroes are going to be underleveled, such as the Riftwalker and the Rhapsody, that's going to be food for Dr. Repulsor. So we'll see in the near future if he is able to make use of that.
And I mean, one thing to point out is I love this rotation count from Rexars. They realise, okay, we've given too many kills away in the bottom lane. We can't contest it. Let's just try and win top, try and win mid. It's perfect. They don't need to. I mean, they had the early game in the laning potential at the start. They've given Magnus enough farm to sort of suicide here, 1v1 if he needs to. But now they're going to rotate mid and top because if they stay down bottom any longer, it's just going to be absolute feed fest for Pharaoh being level 7 and Geomancer level 7.
Yeah.
If they stayed down there, like any time that one of these heroes would have rotated, they would have died. So great rotation count from Rexars sort of to stop any further kills, and that's what they need to do. They want to delay the game as much as possible. I mean, they do have some good early potential as well with like the Doctor and Magnus, but their sort of strategy leans towards the later games. They want to obviously focus to get into that stage without too much much hampering.
I'm keeping an eye on Geomancer's build here again, being a hero we just never have really seen in the competitive scene. He has maxed out the Earth's Grasp here. Again, I go back to that being a very, very effective harassment tool in the laning phase, and honestly a decent farming tool, and I think so choosing to max it out, I mean, again, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a Geomancer expert behind me, so I'm not going to really give too much opinion on it, but more so just interesting that he chooses that. You know, the dig is kind of that 1-point wonder. It is a 1.5 second stun no matter what, so of course it levels up in damage, but do you agree with that? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, definitely, yeah, because the amount of harassment potential you can by maxing out the Earth's Grasp is absolutely insane. I mean, he wasn't doing it incredibly, well in terms of the laning phase, but if he didn't max out, he would have been even worse, because there was no way he could really, out-harass the Doctor Repulsor being melee versus ranged, seeing after, Doctor Repulsor picked up the boots. So, picking up the Earth's Grasp was the right decision there. And like I said before, Box, he knows this hero almost inside out, so if there's one person to follow sort of, the build, it's definitely Box here.
Fair enough. Swiftblade here, 378 gold per minute. He has really taken over this bottom lane. Abyssal Skull going to be in the works. I'm sure he's got Ring of the Teacher, of course, on Steam Boots. So probably going to pick that up shortly after. Yeah, middle lane. Geomancer going to be going in. No! Reaction from Drunken Master. That is a power right there. Christopher actually does hit Drunken Master in the end. And that might have saved Geomancer. Oh, what? Oh, the team communication a little bit off right there. Doctor went in. The follow-up finally comes in now from Magnus. Down goes Geomancer. Down goes Pharaoh as well. Spin from Swiftblade. Not going to be in time. And it ends up being a big fight there for Rexar, as you see. Ro8 Z trying to make something happen, but no. Is not going to be the case.
Absolutely great rotation coming out from the Doctor Repulsor. This is what we was talking about. We saw his great mobility after he gets level 6. He can easily capitalize on that. And it wasn't just the Doctor Repulsor, obviously it was the Magma Stun as well leading up to it. And this is exactly what they need to do. They don't need to find kills here for Hellboy. All they need to do is find the counter kills when Legion are trying to find them. They don't need to sort of search kills themselves, just try and capitalise when Legion overextend. And look at the Golden Experience lead now; it's absolutely dead even, and this is exactly where they want to be going into the mid game.
I was going to say that. I mean, we saw, even though that completely turned on them, we did see a little bit of the potential of Geomancer. The fact that he can cast abilities while in that dig of his. That's exactly what he did right there. Started the dig, casted the Crystal Field. The idea was that the stun would go off, and then the Crystal Field would, of course, follow the hit, but little do they know, as you were mentioning, as we saw, the support was there in time. Great rotation coming out, and Rexar's made work of it in the end. So, still very slight lead for Willowkeeper, but that is still a very slight lead at the same time. So you can just see it with different inflections, and means two different things, really. So look at that right there. The gold efficiency exactly the same in terms of percentage for both teams. So that does not happen often, and even the creep efficiency pretty close to one another. So yeah, proven to be a pretty even game. 11 minutes coming up here. What is game number 1 here?
And I mean, I like, not to obviously insult Rexars, but I honestly didn't think they would be up for this game so much. They seemed very prepared, they seemed very coordinated, and there's almost nothing I can fault them with. Their draft is fantastic, their coordination is almost perfect. Top lane, here comes maybe a gank. Can't catch Geomancer in the end, but yeah, I'm just a little bit surprised. Obviously, we saw a little bit of a shaky start in terms of Cycle 1 from Rexars, but I mean, clearly they're showing that they want to play, they want to be in Diamond, and they're here to contend with the top teams.
Absolutely. They got to the second round of the losers bracket last cycle before being knocked out by Reason. Ultimately, they actually did not win a game last cycle, but it wasn't their fault in the sense that they defeated The Last of Us, but The Last of Us ended up forfeiting, of course, in that losers bracket right there. So technically, they're 0-4 in matches played, but they did receive a forfeit win. Again, not their fault by any means. That didn't play. They could have very likely won anyway. So, but no doubt, I mean, hell, even getting a win under their belt would be pretty satisfactory, I'm sure, in the end. And they're at least looking for one, if not, of course, 2 right here against Willowkeeper. As the bottom lane being pushed in pretty heavy, but they're finally going to fall back. It looks like Drunken Master is making the rotation, and if they stuck in a little bit longer, I could probably guarantee that Rexars would have been on top of adjusting to it and making some kills happen. So Swiftblade instead will go to the jungle. We'll get work from Rhapsody as well and look to farm out a little bit. Top lane, there's the pull-in from Riftwalker. Here comes the initiation from Gemini. The tower is killed, actually, by Rexar. So a little bit of a positive there. But Magnus did explode in the process, so good follow-up there.
The range of Riftwalker's ult is insane, though. Like, she was initiated before Magnus could even see her, and then, I mean, just great, ganks out there by Boxy and obviously Ro8 Z. One interesting thing to note, though, is actually I really do like the the build here from Boxy. Going under Plated Greaves, I mean, Plated Greaves is probably one of the best stat-efficient items in terms of the boots you can get. I mean, it offers so much for just so little. You know, three to all stats, 70 movement speed, and then 5 armor, as well as the 2 armor given to team. And I do like, you know, sort of the team sort of style of build that Boxy sort of building here on the Geomancer.
Huh, that is interesting. Yeah, definitely. I mean, so speaking of that, though, now he has the Amulet of Exiles, a Ring of Sorcery, I think. I guess he could just turn it into a Grave Locket here at this point. It doesn't need to be a Ring of Sorcery necessarily, but...
yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if he builds it into a what's the upgraded version of Grave Locket?
The Sackstone?
Sackstone.
Well, that wouldn't make sense because he hasn't played a Greaves.
Oh, of course, yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
it would most likely be the Ring of Sorcery then. Yeah, sorry about that.
Come on,
So
Mini Maggot.
I'm sorry, that's so bad of
You
me.
can never make a mistake again.
How did I not realise that's so bad? Anyway,
I've never done that before.
Anyway, let's go back to what the sort of the style here, or the strategy that, you know, Hellborn are going looking forward. So then you've got the portal key on Magnus. I like the rotation they made. They had Magnus here in the short lane trying to sort of prioritise his portal key while Dr. Repulsor was farming the jungle in the meantime. And I do like this sort of priority they put on Magnus in that sense, because I mean, if you can, you know, give a little bit of farm onto Magnus, he can get his portal key in like, at least, you know, under 15 minutes, which he's just picked up here.
Yeah.
So now, I mean, Dr. Repulsor looks like he's going for a Grimoire of Power, but even with him going Grimoire of Power, it doesn't mean he's sort of AFK farm. It looks like they're going to even try and rotate and defend this tier 1, and they definitely can with this Magnus portal key. I don't think even Legion know he has it, so this could be a massive turn point. Eruption going in.
Here we go, Eruption being shell, gets a stun on there too, Dr. Repulsor follow, Geomancer dropping quickly, Swiftly gets the spin off, Geomancer he digs out of time, Riftwalker comes in with the wormhole, will it be enough follow-up damage? That was the question. Beautiful protective melody from Fusen, saving initially. She is going to get stunned though, as well as Riftwalker. The follow-up still coming in from Rexars. How is nobody dead yet? I do not know. Finally, Rhapsody falls. And that will be the only kill so far. Riftwalker still in trouble. Drucker Master trying to get in there. Not going to happen, though. You see Willowkeeper. They don't want to commit. They got a little too close, though. And down goes Geomancer. Here comes the spin there from Swiftblade. Trying to at least get one trickle. They get the one to Magnus. They're going to get the two in a Drucker Master. And now the Suicide's going to down goes Dr. Repulsor. A double tap for Swiftblade. And the patience paid off. They dove a little too far. Did Rexars.
The greed, they had the 1-up kill there. They did need to go for that. Instead, it was a 2 for 4, as well as losing their tier 1 mid as well. They had the great trade. They only need to get. All they need is the 1 kill, and they got that. They defended their tier 1. Instead, greed got to him a little bit too much, and in the end, it was like a team wipe, as well as losing the tier 1 mid. And look at the golden experience swing now: 4,600 gold and 3,400 experience lead there for Tree. That's exactly what they needed, and the items are just building up here for Tree.
Yeah, most certainly. Definitely working out very, very well in favor of Willowkeeper, and that's one of those fights where so far this whole game is something we've constantly gone back to, is this has been an even game, you know, nothing too crazy for either team just yet. Not sure where this is going to end up. Now you can start leaning towards Willowkeeper a little bit. Still nothing crazy by any means, but a 5,000 gold lead, 3,700 experience lead, 16 minutes in.
Top lane.
Pretty good feeling. Top lane, what is going on up here? Geomancer trying to live. Oh, the dig just not over the ledge. Probably wouldn't chase down anyways by Dr. Repulsor, so, but a good attempt from Boxy to try to get away. But yeah, Portal Key Magnus already making some big plays for the team.
Yeah, and this is what I was saying before the team fight happened middle lane. I mean, yeah, okay, Dr. Repulsor looks like he's going for a Grimoire of Power. That's fine. I've got no issues with that. I just would like to see him get active as well. I mean, Dr. Repulsor is probably one of the best ganking sort of style of carries, and with the Magnus Portal Key pickup, I mean, there's so much potential to get these pickoffs. So I do love the rotation here to try and gank on the Boxy.
Yeah.
Like I said before, obviously the team fight. Before that, they were so far behind in terms of gold XP. After that, they need these ganks to really get back into the game, and that's just the perfect start they need.
Yeah. Interesting items coming out here. Worth noting, you got an Arcana picked up on Krake actually playing the Pharaoh, so looks like we're going to see that Hellflower build actually happening. He also went to Helm of the Black Legion initially, so really just playing the simple, I'm just going to bulk up, but also have a great follow-up to all my initiation with the Hellflower here. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, definitely, because he's going against the Dr. Repulsor. They need something to lock him down. They don't, I mean, yeah, they have the stun coming from Geomancer, but even that isn't really sort of guaranteed. They need some guaranteed terms of CC to lock down this Dr. Repulsor. And the Hellfire is absolutely perfect, because Pharaoh can hook in and then instantly Hellfire, and then Dr. Repulsor is easy pickings for the AoE synergy of the Riftwalker and Geomancer. So actually I love that pickup, and I think Dr. Repulsor would need to get a stronger head ASAP, because otherwise he's going to get absolutely destroyed in the next upcoming team fights.
Yeah. Oh, he's got the light brand here, so definitely going a little bit greedy of a build in that sense of going to try to get the Grimoire even. And yeah, not your usual Doctor build in the end. Does make him a little more fragile perhaps than he would like, but we'll see how that works out ultimately, of course, for Big Arlong. Playing the Doctor Repulsor here. Top tower push, though, coming in. 517 gold per minute. Swiftblade has got a Frostburn finish. Frostburn.
Good choice.
Let's get them mixed up. Yeah, you like that choice there?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, sorry, yeah, that's good Frostburn because I mean, like, they're going in for the team sort of style of build. They've got the better early game with sort of Geomancer and Riftwalker. They just want to force team fights, and this extra bit of Frostburn health and damage is exactly what Swiftblade needs to sort of bulk up. But I do love the rotation coming from Rex, as they know they can't win this team fight, so they're just going to sort of counter lanes. Even if they lose this tier 2, as long as they can delay the game as much as possible, the better it is for them. They don't have the best team fight compared to Legion, but they can't take team fights, so might as well try and get as much out of it in terms of sort of pushing mid and bottom. Yeah,
that's exactly what they're doing. Split pushing right here. You do see the top secondary tower, though, taking some good damage from Willowkeeper, but they're not going to give up a tower either for free. You look at they're porting back to the secondary middle, but they just don't get there in time. Maybe that's secondary, but yeah, top lane actually. Drunken Master going in with Magnus as well, and Rhapsody will get caught out. So play says, I got to just port out here. Should be in time. Yes, he will be in time, even with the spin ending at the last second. So a couple of their teammates actually went to defend the middle. It didn't work in the end and left them vulnerable at the top side. So kind of almost backfired big time, but not the biggest deal. They did get the tower kill. Middle lane, maybe.
Don't just think about it.
Yeah, he is going to go in right here. Now again, Pharaoh's pretty tanky right here. Will he be tanky enough is the question. He doesn't have support nearby. No, he's not going to be. He will fall when it's all said and done. Swiftblade just could not get there in time. As, yeah, okay, it's going to be out of range. So, good chase coming out from the Hellborn side.
Yeah, and look at they are still behind in terms of gold, but I mean, their experience lead is dead even now, and we've got the Drunken Master picking up the Strong Head. The Doctony closing on his Grimoire. Once he picks up a Strong Head, I think they can easily take these team fights and even be in a better position, actually. I mean, it looked like Tree was sort of ahead of this whole game, but I mean, now it's getting to the point where, I mean, I think these Rexos can start taking these team fights, and Tree needs to be wary that this game doesn't go on for too long.
Apparently I called him Gemini earlier, and chat's having fun with that. This is not Gemini, it is indeed Geomancer. We don't see this hero often, damn it. Although I love him, although I love seeing it. So, speaking of Geomancer, he actually does pick up a portal key right there. That's what I was going to go to earlier in the sense of, the plated greaves and everything, and even if he upgrade, like, he's delaying the portal key, and this seems like one of your, again, kind of similar to a Magnus,
cool, yeah.
Portal key kind of core on him. So he does eventually get it. Actually about 21 minutes into the game, and a little bit less even. Not too shabby, especially with the build-up here. And being a suicide Gemini. Oh, god damn it, Geomancer. Why do I keep doing that? That time I caught myself at least. Yeah, middle lane, Dr. Repulsor, he has no clue. Swiftblade sitting on top, but Swiftblade doesn't have the stun, of course, other than the mini stun. There we go, there's the portal key! Stun! Oh, but the follow-up's not nearly enough damage. Swiftblade, he needed the swift slashes right off the bat. I think to have a chance.
It's just risky, though, as well. Like, if he doesn't get the kill, then, I mean, Hellborn could easily start taking a team fight. But no, I think I do agree with you. The Swift Flashes might have been enough, but yeah, you see, this is what I mean. They need the Hellflower on Pharaoh because that's a guaranteed easy kill once Pharaoh's picked up that Hellflower. But without that, I mean, Doctor Repulsor is in no trouble of dying unless they can perfect the initiation with maybe Riftwalker and Geomancer. But yeah, I mean, this is exactly where Rexes want to be. I mean, they haven't took a team fight since the last initial one where they rotated in. I mean, they lost the team fight when they sort of dive a little bit too hard, and that's fine. I mean, you can make a mistake as long as you sort of correct it after. And they've done that. They've realised that, okay, we can't really take team fights. We're not strong enough yet. So just try and delay the game as much as possible. They've been pushing out lanes. When Tree do rotate and group up, they've been sort of split pushing. I mean, they are rotating here in the middle lane. Rexus might even decide that they want to take a team fight now that Drunken Master has picked up his Shrunken Head. Yeah,
I mean, I will still say, though, as far as Dr. Repulsor goes, I mean, again, the Grimoire power, it's a great pickup to have it, but it is a little bit more of that greedier item. He's going to need some more time now to kind of snowball with it. But, you give another 5 to 10 minutes at the most, and he definitely will be very, very dangerous at the same time. So it is going to be curious to see what kind of decision Rexars does ultimately go with here as far as wanting to take team fights or not.
Yeah, they're splitting already. You see the rotation come out from Hellborn, and I do like this trade. Although, they are losing a tier 2 for a tier 1, it's fine because, like I said before, they've got the late game potential. Although, they are losing gold in terms of net. because they're losing their tier 2 for a tier 1. As long as they're delaying the game, that's the game plan they need to do. That I mean, Tree can't push up high ground anyway because they just don't have that kind of team fight potential. They're not that far ahead in terms of Tree. So as long as they can delay the game, this is where Rexos need to be.
Baltazar, of course, the go-to carry player here for Willow Keeper. When he farms 540 GPM plus, they're 4-0 with him with stats like this. So, obviously, setting up to be in a pretty good spot in that sense. He's got the Tombringer. He's working on a full Shrunken Head, most likely to follow. So his farm is definitely looking very, very impressive. Middle lane. This may be something here. You can see Willow Keeper playing it actually pretty passive in the end. They are missing on the map,
they're trying to bait it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're trying to bait it because, like I said, Tree, they need to make these team fights happen. They're going to try and bait this, and Magnus might fall for it.
Oh, jeez. He's like, it's so tempting, but I know something's up. They wouldn't just leave like that. Okay, yeah, there we go. And there's the tower kill. So good patience, good attempt. I mean, they get the tower kill in the end. It's really not the biggest loss there by any means. Coming up from Willow Keeper. Might as well try for it, and it's more so credit, though, to Magnus there that he was patient enough.
Definitely.
To not to go in.
And when you're playing the late game sort of style of draft, you need to be patient, you need to be passive, because otherwise you can get picked off. And I mean, if they took that team fight there and they lose it, they could lose Rax in that one team fight. So there's no need to take that risk. Tree can't push up onto the high ground without a team wipe of Hellborn. So just play it cool. You've got the late game. I mean, Dr. Repulse is closing on his Shrunken Head, and then maybe you can take a team fight. But until then, just keep your cool, and you're most likely going to take this game 1.
Yeah. Well, that's what that said again. Just game 1 here, 24.5 minutes in. What is a great day of competitive Heroes North ahead of us indeed. Cycle 2 beginning here. Technically, I mean, it really did start on Thursday, actually, because of a rescheduled match. Of course, Bad Monkey Gaming versus Nullstone Gaming, and the new BMG lineup actually made work and got a quick 2-0 victory in that series. And more importantly, Minimag no longer able to drink tea ever again. That's a thing, too. No, but obviously, so BMG moving on. They actually play the winner of this series later on today with the follow-up game, so... That's what these guys are competing for, amongst everything else, of course. And actually, even further on top of that, I really want to stress this, too. Guys, Cycle 2 prize pool more than Cycle 1 prize pool, even. It's going up and up. $33,000 in total, $31,000 of that going towards the Diamond Division, and about nearly $2,500 actually going towards the Gold Division as a result of it all in the split and everything. So, a good amount of money on the line, though. $31,000 for Diamond, including $8,700 for the first place team. In the end. So again, for 2 weeks of competing in Heroes of Newerth, not too shabby for these teams. Yeah, good money on the line once again. So Doctor is also looking scary, and yeah, the Grimoire power. Not often you see a Grimoire Doctor, but Grimoire is just that kind of intelligence hero item that if any of them get it, they can most certainly really start to snowball. But I don't know though.
It's the perfect item pick.
In
terms of because look at the sort of style of play they're playing. Okay, I mean, whenever we used to see Dr. Repulsor, we saw the icon or even the Rush the Hellflower.
Yeah.
And that's because they've been focusing on ganking or team fighting. But with the draft that or the way of sort of style of play that Rex hasn't been playing, it's been a lot of split pushing it and sort of trying to focus on getting that as much farm as possible. And the way they're doing it, they're playing it honestly perfectly. And if he picks up the icon, then he would be farming slower or he'd be forced to team fight, which in a sense their hero draft doesn't really attend to that. So the way he's been playing it and the item pickups he's been playing it is honestly perfect, and I really do like the item choice. My
biggest issue though with an item like Grimoire Power on a Doctor is that when we see it on a Wretched Hag, it's considered a great item pickup for her because enhances her farm understandably, but also she has that big burst ability with the Bat Blast, especially in an AoE presence, that it really amplifies because of that 15% increased damage. Doctor doesn't have that huge burst like a Bat Blast.
He's got the passive though, and it's 20% over time, or it's 15% of all the damage done. So it doesn't need to be the burst damage. So like his passive of Electric Frenzy is obviously getting 15% each time, and that's like almost every auto attack. So although I can understand obviously you might not noticeably see it, but it's deceptively doing a lot of damage because of that plus 15% on the Electric Frenzy anyway. So
I mean overall, of course, it's amplifying the damage no matter what, and that is good in that sense. So. But, I mean, again, there probably is a reason we don't see it too often on a Doctor Repulsor, but Big Arlong kind of going a little bit different here once again. So he actually picks up the Mighty Blade, the Shrunken Head. He has enough for the Shrunken Head even. I'm kind of curious why he isn't just I mean, sure, buyback's nice, but Shrunken just seems like an item that you just get, though.
Yeah, but I mean, if he, like, I mean, he could pick up the stronger now, but he's already seen that Pharaoh's picked up the Hellflower. So if he buy, okay, he's going to buy it now. But I was saying, if he did get picked off with buying the stronger head, and then he didn't have a buyback, that could be the racks right there. So I can understand why he didn't buy it immediately, but they are going to try and maybe take a team fight here.
Yeah.
But I mean, we talked about how Hellborn do have the late game, and they definitely do. But at the same time, with the the superior ultimate effects of Riftwalker as well as the Hellflower coming out from Farah, I mean, the Stronger Heads aren't going to do, all in all, be like the game-breaking sort of items to really win this game for the Rexars. It could go either way.
Yeah. Well, again, that's 28 minutes in here, and what was actually a pretty action-packed game to start. We have been in a little bit of a null phase here. Both teams pretty content on sitting back, playing more of the passive game. That's more so the Hellborn team. I will say Willowkeeper's kind of been pretty aggressive somewhat, going in the jungle constantly, the Hellborn team, but not really finding anyone because, to the credit of Rexars, they're avoiding and getting more and more farm, and that constantly goes back to what you're especially stressing of later game. They have a lot better potential. As this game picks up, look at that. Conger goes down. I mean, that happened quickly, man. I mean, they realized it at the last minute. They were thinking about trying something, but by the time they got the courier over there, it was too late, actually. So a very good sneaky kind of Conger kill coming out by Willowkeeper, and that's going to be the thing that really starts to push this game forward now, probably. As that token gets lower and lower. I mean, the Shrunken Head finished on Swiftblade again. He has already another 1,700 gold saved up. Now look at Riftwalker's farm, too. 272 gold per minute. She's actually got a Blessed Orb thrown in there. So I'm guessing that's going to turn into a Sheepstick here.
Yeah, it'll be a Sheepstick, yeah. But yeah, I mean, with that token, I mean, they could potentially go high ground actually if they wanted to. Now that with the token on Swiftblade, and I do like the Shrunken Head pickup. We didn't really talk about it that much, but when he pops up the Shrunken Head, I mean, with the Blade Frenzy as well. I mean, Doctor Repulsor will be not able to do anything, as well as obviously the Magnus. Obviously, Drunken Master will be able to have some kind of lockdown onto the Swiftblade, but I still think the Shrunken Head is a viable pickup. Actually, they're trying to pick him off actually top lane.
Yeah,
but the rotation's just not there.
Well,
Doctor Repulsor has to be there if they try and set up ganks on the Swiftblade. But middle lane though, Geomancer might be setting something up here though.
He's got that Portal Key again. We've only seen it used maybe once in total since he's gotten that. Again, the game itself has kind of just died out, as we we're just talking about. As far as activity goes, there's a Haste Room bottom lane. We'll see if that turns into anything. But again, most importantly, like I said, the token alive, 3.5 minutes remaining, so still a little bit of time here, but as soon as that gets down to about 2 minutes especially, I'm probably going to see Willowkeeper making more of a push here.
Look at all these wards placed by Yellow Rex, by the way. They're all like little red dots on the map.
Yeah. That's true.
Crazy. And it's good though. I mean, like people say, "Oh yeah, why doesn't he pick up a bound eye?" But with the amount of gank potential here on the Legion, if he loses a bound eye, that's a lot worse obviously than spending sort of 700 gold on revs. And there's no big reason to pick up the eye anyway. There's no like real invisible heroes here on the Legion side. So just making sure your team has ward vision and vision control is very important.
Yeah.
Middle lane.
Kind of thinking about it, Drunken Master. We might actually see that action. There's the dig initiation with the Portal Key. He puts on the Earth's Grasp. You see, that's big. The Untouchable absorbed the Swiftblade Swift Slashes. I mean, yeah, you gotta be aware of that if you're Swiftblade.
Yeah. And where was Pharaoh though? If Pharaoh comes in there with a hook and Hellflower, that Drunken Master is dead 100%. I mean, you could obviously argue that why is Cracky not there, but at the same time, I mean, Drunken Master was saying to clear up the creeps that they've got vision here in the middle lane. They could have just waited for him. Like Pharaoh's Wrath of the Pharaoh has a lot of catching potential. I mean, Pharaoh is sitting bottom here as well. I don't know if he's going to go for something, but no, he's going to back off in the end. But yeah, that was a guaranteed kill if Pharaoh was there, but just could not make it in the end.
Yeah, that's a big missed opportunity from Willowkeeper, and what's definitely been a lot more of a slower-paced game now in these last 10-15 minutes here. Getting even the one kill could really start that snowball of momentum that you're looking for. So again, we're down to 1:45 of this Token of Life, and it's getting to that point of Willowkeeper. They got really like one more chance here to make something happen before they're going to just have to fall back once again and just try to play more of the farm game in the end. I mean, what are you thinking here if you're Willowkeeper? Do you really just try to push one of these lanes in, or you feel like they're making the right decision?
Well, they've got incredible gank potential. They should really try and start the push off with a pick off without a doubt. They've got the Pharaoh Hellflower, they've got the portal key on Geomont, so they definitely have all the tools they need to sort of set up a pick off. But I guess they can't find it, and they are going to start rotating here and just pushing S5 without a pick off.
There we go. Swiftblade leading the way, level 19, 563 gold per minute. Again, a very scary Swiftblade. He's got that assassin drone now on top of it. So another extra damage amplifying tool as well as defense. The Swiftblade is going to be jumped on right here. He does still have to spin. Now make sure he just doesn't shrunken head or anything like that. Again, he has the token alive. Dr. Pulse going to come in the meantime. The Sheepstick comes out. Doctor's dropping. Doctor will fall. There goes the Crystal Field as well. And down goes Torture in the background. Dr. Pulsar does fight back. Empath going down on top of it all. Legion team, though, making sure not to overcommit. Well played by them in the background, though. Protect him out. Going to be coming out. It's not going to be stopped. A full duration coming up from Rhapsody just about. Drunken Master now. He's taking some good damage. He needs to fall back. Swiftblade, he still has the token. He's not going to dive too much, though. You look at Willowkeeper again. They're shit. We've talked about so many teams, even the top teams have been overcommitting, but Magnus goes in. Swiftblade probably going to fall right here. He will come right back up, though, so the tower is dead. Legion team still very strong to fight. They're definitely going to stick around for at least the melee racks, and I don't know if Rex is going to be able to do much. Resurrections from the supports are coming up shortly, but they don't have any big initiation tool anymore. Oh, they do, but not a huge eruption. Magnus, though, speaking of that, he will jump in, but at what cost here? Dr. Pulsar, a quick return, and Dr. Pulsar will fall in the end. The Hellflower came out, and there was nothing he could do to follow. Drunken Master goes down, so Rexars, they should have been pleased with just pushing back, and they went for the kill. It did not work out. Magnus stuns in, but this should definitely be a melee racks now. Yeah, I mean, we talked about it not overcommitting. Rexars actually overcommitted there.
Yeah, but I mean, you saw the power of the Pharaoh Hellflower. I mean, Dr. Repulsor was absolutely nullified completely. You know, the action isn't over, though.
It is still going about this, so they get both of the racks. And then finally, I think Rexars is going to be good, saying, you know, we don't want to overcommit again. We'll let you take the rest, and yes, Willowkeeper also not going to overstay their welcome as they fall back. But yeah, hell of a fight by them. But again, I got to say, we criticize teams a lot. Again, even the top teams, we're talking about BMG last cycle, they just kept on overcommitting. Willowkeeper did a pretty good job that fight of not going too deep, not getting tunnel visioned.
Yeah, I mean, it was good patience and just good sort of discipline to do that, because I mean, they definitely have the potential to sort of capitalize on any overextension here on the Hellborn side, but I mean, just going back to that Hellflower on Pharaoh, I just can't stress it enough. Pharaoh hooked in, and Dr. Repulsor did not put his strong head up, and as a result, he just got absolutely dominated in the team fight. He was absolutely useless, didn't get any sort of damage off, and as a result, it was almost like a 5v4, and Tree took the team fight quite easily.
Yeah, just could not get anything of usefulness in that fight, definitely. So, look at his farm. I mean, not only Swiftblade. I mean, hell, he's just finished a Conjuro right there as a dance blade. But look at across the board. I mean, the Storm Spirit picked up on Geomancer. Hell, look at Riftwalker, a portal key now to follow up the full Sheepstick that she has, and 3,300 gold on Feral. So a lot of big tier items are going to be coming out here for the supporting cast, even surrounding this Swiftblade. Barbed armor also picked up by Feral right there. So, yeah, that was really not a knockout fight right there by Willowkeeper, but that was we're going to really put them on tipsy and probably knock them out with the second punch here, because Rexars, they're now down 14,000 gold, 13,000 experience plus, and also down the bottom set of racks. So, I mean, let's talk about the late game potential. Sure, it is still very strong, but Swiftblade also a very scary late game carry on top of it all.
And he's just got great, sort of team support as well. The Pharaoh with the Hellflower is probably the biggest one I've talked about before. But also, obviously, the Riftwalker, the wormhole actually goes through Shrunken Head. So, Drunken Master, Dr. Repulsor, and even obviously Magma with the Shrunken Head is still going to get locked down quite a lot. Actually, moving the lane. Yeah,
speaking of Riftwalker going in, look at the flank from Swiftblade coming in with the Genjiro. And Dr. Repulsor, yeah, even he can't farm freely. When a doctor can't farm for your team like that, a little bit more risky, then you know you're in a lot of trouble. As he just had no time to simply react right there. The portal key initiative Sheep. So look at Pharaoh's also having fun up here. Hellborn team trying to run away, but here we go. The dig follow up. The Crystal Field goes off, and Magnus
Geomancer, man,
just melts away. Geomancer's just like, I'm better than the Magnus. I'm proving it here. No, but having some big plays right there, and I think Willowkeeper is now knocking on the door of a victory here, pending a miracle comeback from Rexars. They don't even have a buyback on Doctor, so yeah, this is definitely going to be different start. Without Doctor especially, in Hell Magstead, yeah, this is definitely going to be the Raxon. like I said, I think Willowkeeper is going to be pretty confident taking game number 1 here after that.
Yeah, but I mean, it's crazy though how I think Rexars were in the game for about almost 30-40 minutes, and then that one pick-off onto the Doctor Repulsor in the bottom lane just with the health flare just completely nullifies him. Actually going in though, top lane.
Yeah, they might as well try for something, right? Dr. Repulsor goes in, Rhapsody gonna be the target. Quick Storm delayed a little bit, finally does fall. Drunken Master going in now as well. Swiftblade, he's actually standing his ground, however. Pharaoh with the follow-up, there's a Swift Slash just going off. The red numbers popping up, down goes Doctor, down goes Drunken. And I'm sure that concede vote gonna be thrown up any second now by Rexars. As, again, just simply trying... Doctor did buy back there, obviously. He's his final buyback, but once again, not enough. Did Drunken just buy back there? Okay, I guess he did. So I guess it's not going to be over just yet. Rexar still insisting there is still hope. Hey, they're going to kill a Pharaoh. That's something.
I mean, just great. You see that how Tree retreated there as well. Just get Boxy goes in, stuns him, and then Portal Keys out and just TP straight away as well. Just giving his team enough time to go. I mean, Pharaoh did get picked off in the end, but just good retreat coming out from Tree. And I mean, going back to obviously the start of this game altogether. I mean, Rexar's played absolutely fantastic. I mean, I honestly couldn't fault them in anything, but just Tree were just too strong, and the initiation of the Hellflower on Pharaoh was just too much for Doctor to handle. I mean, in the team fights, it felt like, honestly, Rexars were fighting with only 4 men, and the Doctor Repulsor just felt kind of dead weight in terms of the team fights, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, again, I still don't know if I'm a huge fan of that Grimoire power. It's because going something like a Hellflower could have allowed them to get more of a presence to try to be more active themselves earlier on in the game. I know that is hindsight, sure, but so I'm not going to be too.
But he would have been farmed a lot less in terms if he did go for the Sheep. I mean, obviously Sheep is a decent farming item, but compared to Grimoire, it's just.
That's a give and take though, because if he gets a Hellflower, he gets hero kills, and you're making up the farm in that sense. So it's really good. That's hindsight. That's like you can't really predict. Yeah, ultimately what would have happened, but worth noting at least, I think.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, this just goes back to Tree. Like, and I think I've said this before on other casts, but even though they, in theory, they have the weaker terms of late game, they still somehow pull out in crazy late game wins, just with sort of the initiation and the team fight potential they have. Like, obviously they've got the superior. Actually, top lane. Yeah,
Swiftblade, he's going to get caught out. And will his team come in time? Yes, they will. Pharaoh gets in there. Gets goes off. There's the return to bottom. The Wormhole comes out. And the big turn once again from Willowkeeper. The Swift Slash is bouncing around Crystal Fit. I don't think it hit anybody. But again, it doesn't really matter. So Swiftblade stays alive that whole time. Down goes Drunken in the end. So Rexars, when you think they had a chance. But that's your case of, well, they're just too damn farmed. Even with the big jump. So GG's do come out. And game 1 officially goes to Willowkeeper over Rexars here in this best of the 3 series. So big win for them after, again, early on they got the lead. It was a pretty action-packed, kind of died down for a bit, though. Looks like Rexars is going to start climbing back in and getting some farm across the board. Had strong late game potential, but the team fight and coordination from Willowkeeper proving to be too big in the end for them. So any final thoughts on that game, though, Mini Maggot?
No, I just think it goes back to, honestly, I think Krake on the Pharaoh played it incredibly well. I mean, we talked about how Doc didn't have the greatest impact, but at the same time, that goes back to, obviously, Krake shutting him down quite expertly. So, I mean, probably the MVP was probably Krake or even Boxy, honestly, on the Geomont. So both played him fantastically well. But in the end, I'm looking forward to game 2.
As am I. Hopefully you guys are as well. Obviously,